it was literally just a few days ago that I put out a video about how bad things continue to be with the Falcon Cap movie. How the director is supposedly out, the movie is being compared to the Marvels literally just a few days ago. And now there's another rumor out there stating that Falcon Cap movie, Captain America Brave New World, that was once called Captain America New World Order, has failed yet another test screening and is being reworked again. It just keeps getting that bad. And I know some people are going to say it's just a rumor that doesn't mean anything and that, da. Okay, but here's the thing. There's only so much times you can see smoke before you realize there's fire there. And that's precisely what's going on. Let's dive into this article here from Bounding into Comics. I'm going to go over what they have and I'm going to talk about why I think this movie has reached to this point and how badly it's really going to be. Rumor Captain America Brave New World to be reworked yet again after Marvel film fails another test screening. Yep. At this point, it seems Marvel will need a legitimate miracle if they want Sam Wilson's out, upcoming solo flight to do more than crash land, as a new rumor suggests that the struggling Captain America Brave New World is set to be recut yet again due to the film failing another test screening. So this one, if rumors to be correct, this one will make it literally the third test screening that this movie has failed. Because it had one previously that they did, and it was so bad, they went back and literally reworked the whole film, cutting out whole huge parts of the Serpent Society and all of that. Came back with another movie. That one failed again. They went back, do some more reshoots and all kind of thing, come back again with a third test screening, and it still failed again. So yeah, there's 3 test screenings failed already, and this movie is coming out in like 3 months, coming out on February 14, 2025. So this is most likely set up to be a Valentine's Day massacre for it. Word of the new Marvel Cinematic Universe entry's latest stumble was first raised to the public on November 25th, courtesy of noted scooper Daniel R.P.K. Rickman. And Daniel R.P.K. Rickman has in the past provided some credible sources and some actual true facts about what's going on. So that's why, people are saying, yes, seems like a credible account of what's happening. Right? In a post shared to his paid Patreon account, as recapped by numerous news outlets, including the Marvel-centric Twitter account at Marvel Updates, Rickman claimed, and this is what he put out here, Captain America Brave New World is currently being changed due to another negative test screening. It's unclear if this will include another batch of reshoots or just simply re-editing. Now, while this may very well just be some re-editing that they may have to do, they may very well have to do some reshoots or something if needs to be done. And that is going to make this massive budget for this thing even bigger. Because keep in mind, Rise of Skywalker did reshoots like right up to the end. And that movie was a complete disaster that till this day I have never seen, nor do I ever want to see. But that's what's going on. So looking at some stuff there. Notably, this rumor comes a little over a month after the film's most recently reported test screenings, which according to World of Reel's Jordan Rooney, saw audiences reject 2 different cuts of Sam's next adventure. At current, it's unclear if the negative test screening mentioned by Rickman is related to those reported on by Rooney, but regardless, these results do not bode well for the Winged Avenger. I don't think that what Daniel R.P.K. Rickman has talked about is the same thing that that Rooney was talking about, because after what happened with the last set of the screenings, they actually went back. We actually got reports that they were going back to do more tests, more reshoots and stuff like that. So I think that this is an entirely different test screening, and that one also did not do well at all. After all, should Rickman's scoop turn out to be true, this recutting would mark but the latest attempt by Marvel to try and salvage Brave New World. In November 2023, veteran Hollywood insider and entertainment reporter Jeff Snyder alleged that, per his sources, a test screening of the film earlier in the year had gone so poorly that Marvel elected to take the Captain America sequel back to the drawing board. Yes, I did a video covering that. Even going so far as to hire Matthew Orton, who had previously served as a consulting producer and writer on the studio's Moon Knight series, to write new material. So Moon Knight was a horrible show, and decided to bring in somebody else. Okay, all right, well, there you go. As a result, the studio cut a major plot involving the full Serpent Society, replaced their role with a completely new villain in the form of Giancarlo Esposito's Sidewinder, and added in far more action scenes to balance out its apparently overtly preachy script. And you see, this is the thing, yeah. This is the thing. Like, I will continue shortly, but let me just say this. This is the thing. Why it is actually 2 points I want to make here. One, why it is this may very well end up like the Marvels. The fact that they cut out a major plot involving the full Serpent Society and then bring in Giancarlo Esposito as a new villain, but the Sidewinder, somebody connected to the Serpent Society, means that they removed the entire Serpent Society element from the film, brought in Giancarlo Esposito, but still want to use elements of what they had before and try to make it work into what they're doing now. And that is kind of essentially what happened with the Marvels, because major parts of the Marvels was cut out to try and Frankenstein together a movie, and it came off very, very badly. Number of things did not make sense, and they never explained why. Till this day, we don't know why it is Captain Marvel, Photon, and Miss Marvel's powers all were intertwined, and every time that they use it, they were just switching powers. We don't know why. It was never explained, anything like that. People have made theories as to why, but it has never been explained as to why it happened. And it just kept going from there. So that's pretty much the same thing you're going to get with this movie. They cut out a lot of what they were going to do, and they put in something else. Then and now they have to try and stitch it together with what was there before and hope that's going to work. They also say that they added in far more action scenes to balance out its apparently overtly preachy script. One thing people really didn't like about the original test screening for Captain America Brave New World, aka Falcon Cap, is that it was too political, it was boring, it was overtly preachy, all these different things. And this is why I think at this point they should probably just take the L and say, you know what, we screwed up, let's just move on and done. Because this movie came out, this movie was developed at a time when Marvel was so, when Marvel / MCU was so high on their own fats that they knew the ship was burning. They knew it was going down, but they still figured people wanted to come on board. Honestly, they figured that all this, and I'm going to use the term, all this woke crap was what fans wanted, when it's never what people wanted. I've stated this many times before, I'll say it again. The reason the original MCU worked, and that doesn't mean every movie in the MCU was fantastic. We all try to forget Iron Man 2, because I still don't even know what the hell the point of that movie was, but whatever, it happened and all this sort of stuff. Not every movie was perfect, but the whole point of it was that there was a plan they were working towards. They have none at this point. You have to understand they have no plan at this point. They got to the end of Endgame, and that should have been when they should have ended it. You know, probably just show a couple little TV series and stuff. Well, not the crap that they're showing now, but some other TV series. What they should have done at that point, when Endgame ended, was that all the Marvel series except Iron Fist, which was garbage, that they had over on Netflix, and they brought it over there. You understand me? I still don't think they should have done. I think they should have left it at Netflix and just, work with Netflix to develop these shows. That would have been what they could have done for there. Maybe make one or two animated series, and that should have been, give it a rest for about 7 years or so, and then come back with fresh new actors and start to do something again. Then you could bring in the X-Men and all of that. Okay. No, they decided to start implementing all these zealous heroes in it that nobody was interested in, trying to make it seem like they were involved in something when it wasn't. And everything has failed one after the next. So the point I'm trying to make is that they made this movie thinking that all the woke crap that was floating around is what people wanted. And now they're desperately trying to do as many reshoots and re-edits and recuts as possible. But you cannot pretty up a pig. That's just a long and short, but you can't do that. You've made something horrible, and you have to accept the fact that you could edit from now until February 13th. It's not going to fix it. You did this stupidness, and you have no choice but to just put it out there if you want, take the loss and move on. But there is a bigger problem that they are going to have to contend with, and I'm going to get to that shortly. Actually, let me get to it now. And according to a supposed insider who spoke to the aforementioned Rumi, this round of changes was so extensive that they allegedly cost Disney between $75 million to $100 million to produce, thus bringing the film's total budget at the time to somewhere in the ballpark of $375 million to $400 million. Right? That qualifier of at the time is important, because rather than this being the end of the film's production, whose Esposito himself would reveal in early November 2024 that he would be returning to set in the coming weeks for another round of reshoots. Exactly. While it's unclear just how much money is being spent between this apparent return to set and its rumored by Rickman post-production work, suffice to say, the film's budget is likely nearing the $500 million mark. Meaning, by the standard true budget equation of AA Films' reported budget, Brave New World may need to make at least $1 billion to break even. Now, I am pretty much sure at this point in time, like I say here, that it's really approaching $500 million if it hasn't already reached $500 million and most likely gone over it. Because when you take into account just the production budget alone, which at present, the saying is looking like about $400 million over that. That's just the production. You have to then account for the marketing. And every time an ad is shown, production material put out, posters, all kind of thing like that, understand me, comes out. That is part of the advertising budget. And that could very easily go up to maybe about 150, 200 million, maybe more, depending on what it is they're doing. But let's be tactical here and say maybe within the budget of $100 to $150 million in regards to the advertising budget. That would mean that this movie would need to make at least $1.5 billion to break even. Because remember, it needs to be at least half of it, because again, as I tell people time and time again, the movie budget don't get 100% of the cinema dues and things like that. So this movie at least needs $1 billion to break even. And I'm sorry, I don't see that coming anywhere close to $1 billion. So yeah, like I say, this is another problem for them. This could very well turn out to be one of the most expensive MCU projects ever. And it could bomb really freaking hard, because every time they have to do reshoots or re-edits, that is money they have to spend. Not necessarily like, people coming back to do that for free. They have to pay them every time anybody has to come back to do any reshoots, any re-edits, anything. They have to do that. And this is not working out to look really well at all. So yeah, that's a big problem for them. all in all, while Rickman's latest scoop remains firmly in the rumor camp for now, given the tumultuous nature of the film's confirmed production history, it's not out of the realm of possibility that Marvel is still trying to get Captain America Brave New World, a film which obstinately began life as another Disney-level critique of modern-day America, into a somewhat workable state. This is what I'm talking about. They use this movie to come out and say, well, we have problems with America because this is what everybody wants to see. And this boils down to like the same thing that happened with Inside Out 2, where they came out, and I did a video that came out and reported on how Disney came in and said that, you need to make Inside Out 2 less gay. Like, what exactly was the original concept? Then they needed to come and tell them, you needed to make it less gay. And then you see this, because if they come in, I'll have to change it, because that's just the kind of messaging that Disney was pushing, because they thought this is what people wanted. And like I said, this company has been infiltrated by activists who don't know what the hell they're doing and are just destroying everything. And to that, all we as fans can say is good luck, Marvel, you're gonna need it. Despite still being worked on, Captain America Brave New World is still planned to make landfall on February 14, 2025. Regardless of whatever they try to do at this point, as I've said it before and I'll say again, I think this movie is in some serious production trouble. You cannot pretty up a pig at this point. Whatever this is going to be when it comes out, there are always going to be people who are going to say the greatest thing since sliced bread, even though they know it's not. I saw the trailer for it. I wasn't very overly impressed. Fans like Falcon as Falcon. They don't want him as Falcon Cap. That does not work. This new Falcon guy who they brought in is not working either. And as long as they keep listening to these nitwits who keep telling them this is what people want, even though they have no idea what anybody wants because they live inside of these little bubbles, they're going to keep losing money time and time again. This is not going to turn out good, in my opinion, at all. But we shall wait and see what happens. Unless it is they decide to push back the date again, we don't know. But we shall see. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. If you have a different opinion, I'd love to hear it. If you like the video, hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Ring the notification bell to be notified every time I put out a new video. And I shall see you all next time. Take care.